Just one small item tucked away in your shoe cabinet could be silently draining all your good luck day by day. And the scariest part is, almost everyone unknowingly keeps it right by their front door. Hello, I am Master Quan. The shoe cabinet is the very first place that receives all the energy coming from outside before that flow enters your home. If there is anything inside the cabinet that is not suitable, especially items that carry what we call unclean energy or heavy vibrations, that positive energy flow will get blocked right at the threshold. When that happens, good fortune struggles to make its way in, while negative energy can easily linger and spread into your living space. The worrying thing is, this harmful item shows up in most households. It hides among your shoes and quietly sucks away the freshness of your home's energy field. It is the very reason your shoe cabinet smells musty, the area near your entrance feels stagnant, and your wealth energy cannot gather. But once you remove it, you will feel the difference immediately. The cabinet feels more breathable, clean energy starts flowing more freely, and your financial fortune begins to stabilize little by little every day. So in today's video, we are going to take a close look at the hidden objects quietly draining away good fortune from shoe cabinets in so many homes. These are things that may seem harmless, but they make it harder for wealth to enter, and even harder for you to hold on to your money. Before we dive in, go ahead and drop a positive energy comment down below. I keep my family's energy gateway clean and welcome prosperity every day. And if you would like to continue attracting wealth energy into your home each day, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Every new video will be a guide to help you protect your finances, live in peace, and nurture long-lasting prosperity. And now let us dive deeper to clearly see each item that is silently draining your good fortune from the shoe cabinet. Things that are right in front of your eyes, yet you may never notice. Item number 1. Old papers that carry negative energy. Receipts, mail, or outdated documents hold far more than just printed information. They carry the lingering energy of past events, purchases, responsibilities, and even unresolved thoughts that still echo in your mind. When these are placed in the shoe cabinet, the space that is supposed to be the lightest, most gentle meeting point between the outside world and the inner peace of your home, a subtle but noticeable heaviness begins to build up right at the energy gateway. Just a few seemingly harmless sheets of paper can weigh down the space, robbing it of the lightness that allows positive energy to flow. Documents are tied to obligations, decisions, money, and unfinished matters. Each piece carries a kind of emotional imprint, a residue of thought and feeling. So when these end up in your shoe cabinet, every time you open it, you may feel a tiny emotional drop, one you may not register logically, but it is still there. Modern Feng Shui explains this effect through the lens of psychology. The front door is the boundary between the outer world and your inner sense of balance. Anything placed at that point directly affects how you step into your home and into your own emotional state. Paperwork associated with burdens disrupts that transition, weighing you down in a way that you may unconsciously carry throughout your day. And this is not just about clutter. Old papers don't just make your shoe cabinet messy, they shift the atmosphere. They create a kind of invisible heaviness, a subtle feeling that something is left incomplete. A messy shoe cabinet is more than disorganization. It signals interruption, imbalance, and unfinished business. When the entrance to your home carries this kind of energy, your house loses the lightness, brightness, and harmony needed to maintain stable, flowing energy. And without that harmony, fortune struggles to find its way in. Item number 2. Old brooms and dirty rags. Old brooms or rags soaked with dust and dirt carry a very particular kind of leftover energy. The fatigue of cleaning, the remnants of things once swept away, and the worn-out feeling of something overused. When placed inside the shoe cabinet, a space meant to be one of the cleanest and most streamlined parts of the home, they inject that space with a sense of low, stagnant energy. It's not about how they look or how worn out they appear. It's the story they tell of being used up. Old brooms and dirty rags hold on to not just grime and sweat, but also the emotional remnants of unfinished cleaning. They symbolize things that have been wiped away, but not entirely gone. They sit there as small remnants of past effort and fatigue. When placed in your shoe cabinet, the space that first meets the energy coming into your home, they create a subtle disconnect, like a friction that makes the transition from outside to inside feel rough and uneven. Even if you do not consciously notice them, their presence changes the vibe. A shoe cabinet, even when closed, creates a silent impression, either clean, fresh, and open, or stuffy, closed off, and tense. Old brooms and rags contribute to the second feeling. Not loud, not obvious, but strong enough to make it hard for you to fully relax when stepping inside. This is how they disrupt the delicate energetic balance at the entrance, reducing the harmony that this space is supposed to maintain. Item number 3, plastic bags. Plastic bags inside the shoe cabinet often go unnoticed, but that very silence is what makes their effect so subtle yet impactful. By nature, plastic bags are temporary. You use them quickly, crumple them up, and toss them in without much thought. They have no fixed shape, puffing up, collapsing, getting tangled with other items. This instability introduces a wobbly, unsettled feeling in the shoe cabinet, as if that space is never quite closed or contained. Plastic bags also hold on to traces of their journey. City smog, food smells, moisture, and even that quiet rustling sound they make, which may seem small, but it adds a layer of low-level mental noise. When placed in the shoe cabinet, the threshold between outer energy and inner calm, their presence interrupts the flow. It feels like you're trying to step into a warm, welcoming space, but something small tugs at you, like a thread left hanging. It is not obvious mess, but a kind of subtle static that unsettles the emotional atmosphere. What matters most about plastic bags is not their wrinkled look, but the fact that they simply do not belong there. Every item in your shoe cabinet should serve a clear purpose, but plastic bags are just leftovers from errands past. They have no function, no value, yet they still take up space. Like mental clutter, they are not big enough to be a problem, but just enough to disturb the clarity of your living space. So when plastic bags stay in your shoe cabinet, they do more than just make it look messy. They chip away at the order of your home, piece by piece, right at the very place that should be the most tidy and pure. Item number 4. Keys. Keys are small, but they carry big meaning. They represent control, safety, and the power to open or close the entire home. When keys are tossed into the shoe cabinet, especially if they are tangled or in plain view, they give off a subtle sense that control is being left unsecured. Not in a physical security sense, but in the energetic feeling of being slightly off-center. Mixing keys, symbols of control and decisions, with shoes, which represent movement and leaving, creates confusion. It disrupts the mental clarity of the space and makes the act of entering your home feel less grounded. Keys naturally carry the energy of choice, direction, and decision-making. When they show up in the shoe cabinet, a place meant for items that are in transit, they feel misplaced, like an unresolved signal. Every time you open the cabinet and see them, something feels just a little out of place. You may not focus on it, but it adds a minor energetic disconnect between inside and out, disrupting the flow needed for a calm transition into your home. Keys mixed with shoes send a subtle but very real signal. The order of your home is slightly off. Shoes are for movement, keys are for anchoring. When opposite energies share the same space, it creates a feeling of imbalance. It tells your subconscious that something is not quite in its proper place, and that very small misalignment takes away from the peaceful sense of coming home. Item number 5. Damp shoes or shoes left unused for a long time. Damp shoes or shoes that still hold moisture give off a very particular vibe, a sense of coldness, lack of dryness, and incompletion. When these are stored in the shoe cabinet, that small space becomes immediately weighed down with a heavy, dim feeling, like the air inside can no longer flow freely. This is not about the smell or the moisture itself. It is about the emotional impression of something not being quite ready. Damp shoes always suggest something unfinished, and that sense quietly spreads throughout the cabinet. Shoes that have not been worn in a long time carry a different kind of energy, the weight of stillness. Forgotten shoes that no longer fit into your current life rhythm bring with them a faint mustiness. Not because they are damaged, but because they no longer belong to the present. In a place meant for daily movement and transition, they create a very noticeable divide. Part of the cabinet is now a memory of steps that no longer happen. This presence splits the space in two, between motion and pause, between now and the past, and that breaks the smooth flow at the entrance, even if only slightly. And then there is the smell. Even faint or barely noticeable, it hits on the most delicate emotional level. The scent in a shoe cabinet is not just a physical detail, it signals buildup. If shoes still hold on to old odors, the space feels compressed, like something is stuck. That creates a quiet resonance, one that lingers far longer than you might expect. It dims the doorway energy, taking away the fresh and uplifting feeling we all hope to experience the moment we step through our front door. And that old smell? It turns your shoe cabinet into the heaviest spot in a place that is supposed to feel lightest of all. Once you have identified the items that weigh down your shoe cabinet, the next step is to bring this space back to its original light and clean state. The moment the cabinet feels brighter and lighter, the energy that flows in and out of your home will become much smoother and more pleasant. Solution number 1. Organize your shoe cabinet. When shoes are placed with their toes pointing outward, the cabinet not only looks tidier, but it also gives off a sense of natural direction. This outward orientation creates a visual flow that makes the space feel more unified rather than chaotic and scattered. This simple alignment touches something subtle within you. It gives the impression that everything is where it belongs, with its own sense of purpose. And when the cabinet only contains shoes that you actually wear, you can feel an immediate lightness. Not because the space is physically larger, but because it feels more open. Forgotten shoes carry the energy of stillness, of journeys that have ended. When they are mixed in with shoes you use daily, the cabinet becomes a blend of present motion and past stagnation. Only when the cabinet holds shoes that match your daily rhythm does it truly reflect the flow of your current life. Open, airy, aligned. These are not rules, but rather emotional states that naturally emerge when a space is well arranged. Openness is when nothing in the space holds you back. Airiness is when your breath and your gaze both have room to move. Alignment is not just about shoes in a row. It's about a steady rhythm, giving you the sense that you are stepping into your home with clarity and stability. When the shoe cabinet feels open and fresh, you can sense a much smoother transition between the outside world and your inner sanctuary. The shoe cabinet greets you after a long day, and when it's clean, structured, and bright, it changes your entire homecoming experience. It becomes a kind of soft buffer that helps you let go of the chaos outside before entering the most familiar part of your life. The alignment of shoes creates a kind of stability that you often feel intuitively. It is not just about visual appeal, it is about a sense of order, of rhythm, of clear direction, from the very first step into your home. These small things, when combined, create an entryway that is fuller, lighter, and more harmonious, a gentle opening to the flow of energy throughout your house. Solution number 2, replace the liner regularly. The liners inside your shoe cabinet, though small and often overlooked, absorb more than just dust. They hold the daily traces of your routines, the smells, and the feeling of footsteps pass. When a liner stays too long, the energy of the space begins to sink. It's as if the cabinet's breath slows down and gets heavier. The wear is not just physical, it's emotional. It holds on to a story that has overstayed its welcome in a space that's meant to feel fresh and renewed. A new liner feels different not just in color or material, but in the emotional ground it creates for the entire cabinet. An old liner suggests that the cabinet is holding on to more than it should. A new liner feels like a blank page, light, clear, and full of new potential. This change is instantly felt the moment you open the cabinet. A cleaner, lighter, and crisper atmosphere, even if nothing else has changed. You can often sense the presence of an old liner right away. It's not the smell or the color, but the sense of repetition, the stale loop of something that has lingered too long. The space feels like it's stuck in a cycle, not moving forward. This feeling makes the cabinet heavier with memory than with usefulness. And when the entrance of your home holds on to the past, it's hard to welcome freshness into the present. When the liner is replaced, the entire space feels different almost immediately. Even without focusing, your eyes notice the brightness, and your emotions pick up on the freshness. It is like changing the backdrop for the whole cabinet. The smallest part of the space has the power to shift the atmosphere of everything around it. And finally, when the liner brings in that newness, your cabinet gains a clearer rhythm. The heaviness of old energy fades, and the space feels ready to welcome, to open, and to move with you each day. This sense of freshness creates a gentle, seamless flow between the outside and the inside of your home. Solution number 3, deodorize and purify the air. 3 elements, moisture absorbers, activated charcoal, and essential oils, work together to create a quiet but powerful foundation in your shoe cabinet. Moisture absorbers bring a light, dry feel. Activated charcoal purifies the air and keeps the atmosphere clean. Essential oils offer a soft, airy scent. Together, they help the cabinet stay dry and balanced without needing much attention. What people usually notice first is not the smell or appearance of these items. It is the clarity of the air the moment they open the cabinet. The space feels like it has been filtered through silence and order. It is dry, but not lifeless. Dry in a way that feels steady and grounded. Anyone who opens it will immediately feel more at ease. Activated charcoal in particular creates a sensation that is hard to name, but easy to feel. It softens the space, making leftover odors less sharp and more gentle. The cabinet becomes quieter, more still. The absence of heavy smells allows the air to feel almost empty, a kind of calm that the eye and mind can both recognize. Essential oils bring a completely different flavor, not strong, but subtle. A soft scent in a small space gives the impression that someone has taken care of it. The cabinet becomes more than a storage space. It holds emotional depth. Essential oils do not overpower. They simply soften the energy, like laying a thin blanket over the senses. Every time you open the cabinet, it feels like a small, comforting ritual. When these 3, moisture absorbers, charcoal, and essential oils, are all present, the cabinet gains a unique balance. Clean, light, and emotionally grounded. It no longer feels like you are just dealing with smell or dampness. Instead, the space has been truly cared for. This harmony at the entrance of your home creates a stable foundation for the energy of your entire house. There is also one small tip that most people overlook. Place your 3 most frequently worn pairs of shoes side by side in a straight line. These shoes represent your most familiar steps. When they stand together, they create a gentle flow, like the quiet rhythm of the space breathing. Pointing their toes outward not only keeps the space tidy, but also creates a feeling of openness. A soft warm-up that prepares the air inside the cabinet each time it is open. There is something surprisingly powerful about the simple act of placing your 3 most frequently worn pairs of shoes side by side in a straight and intentional line. This quiet consistency brings a kind of steady, grounding energy into the space. It is not about being showy or rigid. There is no need for perfection. Instead, it is about inviting a natural sense of order, one that feels light, purposeful, and calming. The symmetry of those 3 pairs, pointing outward in unison, introduces a gentle rhythm right at the doorway. And that rhythm, subtle as it may seem, sets the tone for the entire flow of energy in your home. Think of it like the first few notes of a peaceful song. Soft, simple, but deeply centering. This small change, though it may seem insignificant, has the power to create a ripple effect throughout your entire living environment. When your shoe cabinet becomes light, bright, and thoughtfully arranged, it is no longer just a place to store shoes. It becomes a symbolic threshold. You are no longer greeted by clutter or stale energy when you arrive home. Instead, there is clarity. There is space to breathe. There is a sense of invitation, as if your home is welcoming you with open arms. The moment you open that cabinet and see harmony instead of chaos, you begin to shift emotionally too. Your mind relaxes, your thoughts settle, Your energy aligns with the balance that your home is already offering you. Gone are the days when the front door felt heavy or uninviting. No more dark, stuffy air lingering at the entrance. No more feeling slightly off every time you open the cabinet. What replaces all of that is a refreshing flow, clean, crisp, and effortlessly comforting. It is the kind of atmosphere that makes you want to linger just a moment longer at the door, to enjoy that subtle exhale as you cross the threshold from outside to inside. And that comfort does not stop at the entrance. It travels with you, moving quietly through the rest of your home. This is not just a change in aesthetics. It is a shift in how your space feels, how it breathes, and how it supports you in your daily life. Sometimes we think prosperity has to come from something big. A financial win, a dramatic transformation, a grand gesture. But more often than not, true abundance begins with the quiet care we give to small spaces. Like a shoe cabinet that reflects your attention, your intention, and your energy. When the very first space in your home, the place where your day ends and begins, is filled with light, order, and clarity, it naturally sets the tone for everything else behind it. You are not simply organizing shoes. You are aligning your environment with the version of yourself that values peace, rhythm, and flow. You are clearing a path, not just for movement, but for stability, for prosperity, and for good fortune to find its way in, without obstacles or resistance. Before you leave a comment full of positive energy down below. I welcome cleanliness and clarity right from the entrance of my home. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together. Every new video will be a small step to help you nurture inner peace, grow financial strength, and create a living space filled with long-lasting prosperity.